if someone is earning, it's measured in terms of $1 a day.
Yeah.
So if somebody is earning less than $1, are they
Mm-hmm.
below the poverty line? But for us as lay development workers, we look at what are the things that constitute poverty. You look at things like ability to afford food, decent housing, ability to have work, education, health, access to water, sanitation.
Yeah.
Your life, are you leading a life of dignity? Is your the sanitation the place where you live? Are you struggling every day even just to put food on the table?
Yeah.
Are you able to keep your children in school? The quality of education that they are gaining. So that's poverty. So poverty is really all round. And we look at even things like nutrition. Can people afford decent food?
Yes.
And meals, how many meals a day? So it's measured in terms of income and whether that income per day can sustain them to meet all these basic needs and they remain with something. So that's
Okay.
poverty. That's just goal number 1.
Yeah.
Goal number 2 is on zero hunger. So it's focusing more on reducing hunger through investments in sustaining agriculture, access to food, nutrition, and measuring all those kind of things.
When we
So-
talk about like now the one about ending hunger, at like what the government policies that are put in place that sometimes end up let's say they make farmers want to stop farming.
Yeah.
Right, where there's certain introductions that are brought in, and then farmers are like, yeah, there's the taxes. Mara, there's like, Siju, we can't start using Siju what seeds, or
Yes,
we are
yes.
introducing certain
So
seeds.
there are standards that they must meet.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like, at what, how does that work in terms of, because I think in terms of agriculture as a nation, we've done well enough
Yes.
in times, right? But
It's-
now
yeah.
we are getting to a point where a lot of farmland is being turned into apartments. We're cutting down trees, and most of this is because it has gotten to a point where farming is not bringing in enough income. So you'd
And-
rather have apartments instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do we balance that?
So usually you'll notice that the goals are interlinked. So there is a very close linkage. So if I just name them, so there is zero hunger, good health and well-being. That's goal number 3. Goal number 4 is education. So it's saying quality education for all. Goal number 5 is gender equality. So we are saying, are we able to lift other categories of people in the society to the same level where the others are in terms of equal opportunities, access to services and all that.
Yeah.
Goal number 6 is really about water and sanitation. So water and sanitation will water, for example, you need water for agriculture production.
Yes. Yeah.
So you see already there's a linkage there. Goal number 7 is about energy, clean energy and sustainable energy. It has to be affordable. So we're saying energy is electricity, it's about cooking energy,
Yeah.
firewood, fuel. So what is our source of energy? Is it sustainable? And number 8 is purely about decent work, employed in informal or formal sectors. The kind of work that you do, is it decent? Is it paying well? So everything around work,
Yeah.
the workplace laws and remuneration and all that is about industrialization and innovation. But how is the industrialization and innovation implemented in such a way that it actually meets the needs of people, but also it does not destroy the environment?
Yes.
So then number 10 is really about equality, reducing inequalities. So when you say inequalities are so many, in a community you'll find the communities that are just a minority because they either have found themselves remain to live in the forest, those kind of inequalities. But there are economic inequalities that are actually perpetuated by the system, right from the global to the local level.
Yes.
So when you get into the market, in terms of if you're going to market your things, are you at the same level with everyone else in that market? How much income are you going to earn? The pricing, who determines the price of produce? So when you talk about goal number 11 is more about sustainable cities. There's a lot of migration now, a lot of metropolitan centers that are growing, urbanization. Everywhere you see, if you travel across to the counties, you'll notice urbanization. And And the countries are developing more cities.
Yeah.
But as we grow these cities, are they sustainable? Are they decent? Do we have enough greenery?
Ama people are living in cubicles.
Yes, but who is determining infrastructure?
Yeah.
Who is determining how the design of the city is? Does it take into consideration the needs of the people?
Yeah.
If
Like,
you
do
take
you have
Nairobi,
walkways?
if you take Nairobi, for example,
Yeah.
are there areas where you have purely slums, informal settlements?
Yeah.
And what is being done to improve those settlements? Are
Yeah.
people being consulted when a decision is made, for example, to demolish a market, in an informal settlement because they
Yes.
want to put up certain structures? So involvement of people.
Yes.
So it's about how we are developing together with everyone
Yeah.
in terms of information sharing, decision making, and all that. And goal number 12 is more about responsible production and consumption. So that's a very unique goal.
Yeah.
Because responsible consumption is, for example, if you have forests and you just decide you want to cut the timber down because there's a market for it.
Yeah.
So what happens to the environment? Then let's talk about food production. You produce food, then it gets wasted.
Yeah.
You are not even able to sell it. Then there are people who are just hoarding produce.
Yes.
Then there are people who are just, so consumption is as we are producing for ourselves, are we consuming them responsibly?
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's really thinking about a lot around our behaviors as
Yeah, I've noticed
individuals,
that.
as households, as
Yeah.
institutions, as businesses, as companies. So consumption is more, what are we consuming? Is it creating a distraction in the environment? Number 13 is the one that talks about climate change
Yeah.
and climate action. So there's a lot of linkage between energy, industrialization, work. Number 8, and especially farming. We talked about zero hunger,
Yes.
agriculture, and climate. The climate change, so we are seeing changes in seasons.
Yes.
You notice today we have drought.
Yeah.
Just a few weeks, last
We had
month
a
we had
heat wave.
El Nino.
Yeah.
We started with El Nino.
Yeah.
Then a few weeks later we
It's
have
a
a
heat
heat
wave,
Now
yeah.
it's hot. Then what are
Now
we
we don't
expecting next?
even know.
Exactly. So should farmers be opening the land? Should they be planting? Should they be doing what?
Yeah.
So those goals are very, very interlinked.
Yeah.
And number 14 is really life underwater. So life underwater, all the water, fresh water, rivers, lakes, and everything. Some are coastlines.
Yeah.
So counties that are at the coast. So it's about sustaining that fresh water and the life under the water so that we are not depleting, but also we are not polluting,
Yeah.
ensuring that the communities around this fresh water or oceans are benefiting, but also doing that sustainably. That's very, very important. And 15 is really about life on land. So you see how they are linked.
Yes.
You still come back to land, and now you're saying access to land, afforestation, and the whole biodiversity.
Yeah.
All the animals and the human beings and the interaction we have with land and nature. So those interactions, the way we manage them.
Yeah.
So there are specific targets and goals and aspirations that we need to achieve by 2030. And
Yeah.
goal number 16 is the one that talks peace, justice, and institutions that are progressive. So this one really talks about policy framework. So you notice that there are a lot of conflicts. The war in Ukraine is affecting Kenya and
Yeah.
affecting a common woman. How? Do we have wars internally in
Yeah.
Africa? Do we have wars and ethnic conflicts
Yeah.
that break
Within
out
within communities, even
within
here.
communities? So what is causing that? And what is in place to
Yeah.
make sure that we avoid conflicts? If they are there, how do we do conflict resolution? And do we mitigate, the impact of conflict?
Yeah.
Because conflicts, when there is conflict, resources are removed from service delivery, for example, from education, and taken to fund the military or to fund, whoever is deployed to support resolve
Yeah.
that conflict.
Yes.
When there is conflict, then communities cannot be stable. They are not doing what they are supposed to be doing.
Yes.
If it's an agricultural community, when there is conflict, they are going to
You
stop
can't
farming.
be farming. Yes.
So every kind of conflict has, a negative impact on development. And the last one is really on goal 17 is about partnerships for development. So you can't achieve these other 16 goals if you're not working together.
Yes.
It's more about resources that are required. Where is the money coming from? For us to achieve that sustainable development? it's more about innovation and technology. We're looking at what kind of new technology do we need? How do we harness now? Notice there is artificial intelligence. How do we use all the social media networks that are there, those channels, and what kind of technology do we need in each of the goals to be able to achieve those goals? And apart from that, there's a whole issue around measuring progress. So you can't measure if you don't have data.
Yes.
So there's a lot of investment and discussion around how are we even measuring? Do we even know the number of people in a community? Because for you to develop a policy or a program, how many people are you targeting? You need to know how many people are in that community.
Yeah.
For example, government must know how many students sat KCSE last year, and they are now supposed to progress to university. So in order for them to plan, statistics must be collected and updated regularly.
Yes.
The biggest challenge that government usually has is they don't have updated statistics. They keep planning based on old numbers,
Is this because they still use old formats? Like they are still very analog, so everything is still on paper?
Yes.
Because they still haven't shifted to... Because with a digital format, it's very easy to update these things.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's easy, but the way we say technology goes hand in hand with resources.
Yes.
There's a lot of investment to move from analog to
digital. Yeah.
Investment in terms of the equipment itself, investment in terms of capacity.
And even the training.
You need to train the people who are going to use this technology.
That's true.
So all that requires a lot of, and that's why then within that goal they have put resourcing as a very, very important aspect.
Yes.
It's a target that they want to make sure that there are resources. So they're looking at how does public-private partnership work to be able to do these things.
Yes.
So they recognize that private sector is very, very critical, and ensuring that private sector, these are their philanthropists. These are people who are maybe companies that have saved a lot of money. How can it be put back into the community?
Yes.
And it's not just using what they call corporate social responsibility. You see a lot of investments. Big companies will come and say, we are doing corporate social responsibility for this community. They will go and support 3 or 4 scholarships, or they will go and put a borehole, or they will construct 1 classroom.
Yes.
That is not enough. We're saying you need to go beyond that and probably put more resources in consultation with the community. What is their need and how much investment can you put that? So there's a whole discussion. So that goal is very interesting in the sense that it recognizes partnerships. It says government cannot do it alone.
Yeah.
We need the private sector, we need civil society organizations, we need the media. In fact, the interesting aspect of that goal, it recognizes that the media is a very critical player in achieving these sustainable goals. So, for example, we have just been discussing gender equality, goal number 5. But we approach it from a point of how do we push for economic empowerment as a means of reducing poverty.
Yeah.
But we are going, if you use women as the entry point, how many women are engaged in businesses? What is the challenge that the women are facing?
Yeah.
The biggest challenge is financial inclusion. You talked about inclusion at the start. We're saying for women to be equal contributors in the economy, first and foremost, you need to ensure that they have access to capital for them to boost their businesses. But it's not enough. What about market, access to market?
Yeah.
If they have access to market, will they have access to the products that they're selling? If they have access to, or if you put everything else in place, what about time for them to be able to actually be in the market?
I would want us to talk about that a bit more, but for now, let's just take a quick musical break. We are at the People Dialogue Festival that's happening at the University of Nairobi. This is She Talks, and we are talking to Helen, who is the gender lead for SDGs Forum Kenya. We'll be right back. This is Tequila with Wanavokali.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Anasa za weekendi, Anasa za weekendi, Anasa za weekendi, Anasa.
This is Hendrik Sam.
I don't wanna be lonely tonight. I don't wanna worry about the things that feel heavy deep in my mind. I just wanna have a good time, little enjoyment. Share and enjoy the new employment. 'Cause we're living
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
You are listening to She Talks on Power Radio. We are stationed live on ground at the People Dialogue Festival that's happening at the University of Nairobi. The festival ends tomorrow, so you still have enough time to pass by and see what all these amazing organizations are doing and also participate in the conversations that are ongoing. Right now, we are talking to Helen, who's the gender lead for SDGs Forum Kenya. And the question that I have for you right now, Helen, is, so what is the intersection? Today is International Women's Day. And even as you were discussing the goals, there was something about gender equality. So my question is like, where do they intersect? Where do women and SDGs intersect?
Okay. Thank you again. I'll start by saying all the Sustainable Development Goals, the 17 of them, have very specific gender targets. So these are aspirations of the things. So maybe we need to also unpack what is gender. So gender, they are looking at specific things that need to be done to address challenges that are faced by groups that are most likely to be left behind in development.
Yes.
So the gender groupings we are talking about are women, children, persons with disability, the elderly. Recently, the old people or the elderly are gaining, a lot of space and place,
Yeah.
because there are issues. The issue of aging is becoming very popular. As we get more urbanized, you notice that our old people end up living alone in the village, and there's no
Yes.
one to take care of them.
Yeah.
So they are also part of the gender groupings, and all the cultural and traditional groupings. We have very, very small communities that are likely to be extinct in the near future. These are communities that are not moving at the same pace
Yeah.
with the rest of the world
Yes.
in terms of development. So those are all gender groupings. So when now we are talking about gender, here I'm now looking at all those groups and saying, what are their needs? So, and how are these sustainable development goals taking care of their specific needs?
Yes.
So the linkages are very clear, because every goal has what we call the targets.
Yes.
In terms of by 2030, we want to see this change. By 2030, we want to have achieved this. So for gender, let me speak only for women and girls for
Yeah.
now, and persons with disabilities. For gender, very specifically for women, for example, you find that under Goal 5, we have very clear targets that say they want to eliminate all forms of gender-based violence, including traditional harmful practices. They want to increase access to quality education and achieve parity. So when say gender parity, the same number of boys and girls that enroll in education,
Yeah.
that stay in education, that complete education,
Yes.
and graduate with quality education.
Yes.
And when they graduate, they can actually proceed to higher institutions. When they complete education, they get employed, and it has to be decent work. You see, so then there's a whole target around health. So health, for example, the health needs of women are very different from the
Yes.
health needs of men and the rest of the community. For persons with disability, their needs are different.
Yes.
So making sure that the needs of these young people, the youth, and all these groupings are taken care of. So they are very specific targets. When it comes to, I'll just give an example of a health target. For example, they are looking at, so in sexual reproductive health or mental health needs, who needs what? Ensuring that there is equal access to these services. So governments and everybody else is pledging and committing to make sure that they provide, for example, basic health care. When you see government pushing for NHIF and they're saying everybody needs to be on NHIF,
Yes.
contribute to this. They're saying we need to have equal access to certain basic health services, and it's contained in the SDGs.
Yes.
And also, if let's look at, for education, we've spoken about that. We said gender parity is not enough to just enroll. What is in place? I think we had a conversation earlier this day, and we were saying some of the things that are keeping girls from completing or staying in school is just lack of sanitary towels. When they're in their menstruation cycle, that time,
Yeah.
they can't come to school
Yes.
because they are fearing to that their clothes will get soiled and the children or the teachers will laugh at them.
Yeah.
So they stay away for imagine 5 days. So imagine every month the girl is losing 5 days.
Yes.
And how many days in a year? How many lessons are those?
Yeah.
Can they keep at the same pace in terms of achieving knowledge and skills like the others?
Yeah.
So those facilities, just making sure that all children needs are taken care of in terms of infrastructure,
Yes.
school.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there is a very, very difficult discussion that we need to have as a country,
Yes.
and that is the care work.
Yeah.
So care work
We
is
were having
very,
a conversation about this
Yes.
yesterday.
So care work is a very specific target in the Sustainable Development Goal 5. But it's also captured under SDG 8 about work.
The decent work.
Yes, if you continue unpacking care work, you'll
Yeah.
find that education institutions actually provide care work for
Yeah.
toddlers. You remember the children below 3 years
Yes.
before they qualify to go into primary level.
Yes.
That level of children, who takes care of them? If the parent can't afford to put them in a nursery school, in preschool,
Yes.
they're at home.
Yes.
So education systems actually provide for care work. Then let's talk about care in terms of healthcare. So healthcare workers are actually providing care services. So the conversation, and then the most difficult one is the unpaid care work, which is domestic work.
Yes.
That's the one that is usually controversial and people are fearing to talk about, but it's important to talk about it.
Very, very
The
important.
starting point is domestic work recognized as work?
No.
So the woman who stays at home and wakes up in the morning, she wakes up fast.
Yes.
She lights the fire. She cooks breakfast. She's bathing children. She's making sure they are dressed up. They get to school. They come back later. And then while everybody has gone, she stays home, right?
Yeah.
Then she starts now that
Cleaning,
domestic work.
yeah.
She's cleaning, she's washing, she's cooking. She's taking care of everybody.
Yes.
But also the neighbor there is coming to her, asking her for assistance. She has to go help the neighbor. When there is community work, she's part of the community service.
Yes.
So that work is not considered work. Why? So when you ask somebody in the village, you ask her, do you work? What do they say?
no.
No, I don't work. But is it true
Even
that they
when-
don't work?
No, it's not true, because the work
course.
they do, and also it's never ending work. You know, that's the
Yes.
other thing that
Uh-huh.
people don't recognize.
Yes.
That when we do that housework, it's never ending.
Yes.
At least, with a job, at 5 you clock out. But in the house, there's no
Yeah.
clocking out.
Yeah, so the challenge we are actually bringing forward is, even for you right now,
Yes.
you're on official duty, you're at the paid work, right?
Yes.
The moment you clock out and you go home, what is expected of you?
Cook, still clean, take care of the children, make sure the husband is happy.
Yeah.
So there's still more.
So you're doing double work.
Yes.
You went together in the morning. You
Yes.
left, he dropped you, or you dropped him, or you parted
Separate
your
ways, yeah.
At the end of the day, you all come back home.
Only
He
one
sits
of you is
down. For you, you are
expected.
going to continue working.
Yes.
So eventually, that work, what we are saying is, does it contribute to the country's economy in any way?
Oh my God, very much so.
How?
For instance, I think even when we start, because for you to see it, you have to see it from where it stems, right? From the smallest bits to how it contributes to the bigger picture. So, for instance, let's say the reason, say your husband, for instance, if say you're married, the reason they're able to be productive at work is they're not thinking about things happening at home. So they're being very productive. When they're productive and they continue climbing that ladder, their tax gets higher and the government gets more out of them. So even in the grand scheme of things, me being at home, doing the work so that he can go to the office and work without worrying about anything, contributes
To the general
nationally.
economy.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's take another angle of that work. So for you to be here,
Yes.
you have hired another woman to come and cover for you
Yes.
at home.
Yes.
So while I'm here speaking about these things and talking and doing my official work for which I'm paid, the other woman has probably left her house and
Yes.
she's come to my house and she's working,
Yes.
doing that work. At the end of the month, I'm expected to pay her. Is that amount that I'm paying her recognized? You know, in the economy.
Yes.
So when the budget is being okay, let's take the economic, what is it called? There's KNBS, the National Bureau of Statistics, usually releases a report about the economy,
Yes.
how we are progressing as a country. So that report usually captures what they call GDP,
Yes.
the gross, domestic product. That is how much the country is growing
Yes.
economically. Do they also capture how much that work in the house has contributed to that?
I don't think they do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They can't because they are not able to put a value in terms of money.
Yeah.
They can't put a value to say if Helen woke up in the morning and she washed clothes, she cleaned the house, she tied the cow, she took the cow to graze,
Yeah.
she took the goats, then later on she comes back, she feeds the chicken, she sweeps the compound. And how many hours have I worked? 8 hours.
Yes.
That is from the time you leave at, if we said from 6 to 6, avoid those number of hours. But for my husband who went to work, he's paid for 8 hours
Yes.
a day. For me, I've also worked 8 hours a day. Nobody's
No one is-
calculating that in
yeah.
terms of value.
Yes, that's so true.
So the conversation globally now, since 2015, is that countries
Yes.
need to find a way of just trying to cost how much that work would cost.
Yes.
So if we attach a cost to it, to say in a day, if a woman is working 12, okay, let's say 5 hours doing that domestic work, if she was paid the minimum wage,
compensation would be
the
this.
minimum wage,
Yeah.
the compensation would be this.
Yeah.
So you see now the interlinkages between the goals. Work is SDG 8.
Yes.
At SDG 8 talks about you need, to pay your workers a minimum wage. How much is that minimum wage?
Yeah.
So if you use that to calculate how much these women are contributing daily, that is a contribution to the economy.
Yes, it is.
So that is the step, the direction most countries are taking.
Ah.
And for you to be able to do that, every country needs to first of all do a survey,
Yes.
a national survey, to
Yes.
say how many hours do women spend doing this work that is not paid,
Yes.
that is not recognized. Then they have to attach a value. Then they attach a value. Now they will be able to calculate how many women are doing that,
Yeah.
how many men are doing it, how many other people are doing it, and then they should be able to say, this is the amount this work is contributing
Yeah,
to the
it's
economy. So each time we are getting that report, or when they are reading a budget, they are saying our GDP has grown by this amount. You notice that normally there are economic reports that acknowledge very well that agriculture contributes so much to our economy.
Yes.
For us developing countries, actually, agriculture is usually the biggest contributor
Yes.
to the economy. So they are investing a lot of money there. So the rationale is, the argument is, in the same way we treasure and invest in agriculture,
Yeah, we should
we should
treasure
treasure
that
and invest in this domestic
domestic work as well. That makes so much sense.
Exactly.
Oh,
So we want to move away from saying
Yeah.
husbands should pay their wives for doing this work. No, we can't start from there.
Yes.
We are starting from, can you just recognize
that this
if it
is
was
actu-
paid?
this is how
this
much
is
it-
how much.
Because also when you say that, it got me thinking, even when you forget, let's say for instance, like before you're married, there's all the monies you are paying someone to do that work for you. You would take your clothes to a laundry place, you are paying or a mama fua would come. And there's a certain amount of money, even in your own personal budget, you would allocate to these things.
these things,
But then the
yeah.
moment you get married,
married,
immediately that
that
money
money-
is removed from the budget. You're like, now I have someone doing this. So already we have an idea of what these figures look like as it stands. Forget even before saying, let's now say how much that would cost. We already have figures of how much it actually costs. It's like we don't talk about it. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I completely agree. I think that would actually be a very good first step.
Yeah. So I think we are just want to acknowledge that at least now, some countries, including Kenya, Kenya is one of the pioneering countries that have moved in that direction. So the government, through the State Department for Gender and Affirmative Action, also supported by UN
Yeah.
Women, and also supported by the National Bureau of Statistics. They have done that survey, and the
Ah.
report was released last year.
Okay.
It's very clear now how many hours women spend doing this work, how many hours
I heard it's
men
about
spend.
an extra 7 hours per day.
Exactly.
Per
So,
week, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So that discussion cannot stop there.
Yes.
So the government has also moved ahead to draft a policy.
Ah.
So because nothing can be addressed in government without a policy. So government has moved ahead to draft a policy.
Yes.
So that policy was validated last month by a few stakeholders who are critical in that space.
Yes.
And that conversation, so what's important is that policy should recognize all aspects of care work.
Yes.
What is required to improve care work in education system? What is required for care workers in health,
Yes.
in the health sector?
Yes.
What is required for domestic care workers? So what is required for other, care
Yeah.
workers? And I think another interesting conversation that comes here is recently we have seen there's a lot of migration of young people from Kenya exporting labor.
Yes.
And that labor that is being exported is going to do domestic work.
Yes.
Are they paid? How much will they be paid?
Yeah.
But most important is what are the conditions under which they are
yeah.
working?
Yeah.
Is it going to be decent work? Is it going to be safe? Will they be working and being paid a minimum wage? Are they able to come back? We've
Yeah.
heard and seen stories in the media where now these ones have been killed. That
Yeah.
one is coming back very sick and ill and frail.
Yes.
And government is trying to intervene and negotiate and say, how do we improve
Yes.
the whole process of that migration that is happening? So that export of labor
Yeah.
needs to be regulated so that the conditions under which somebody goes out,
Yeah.
they go from an informed point of view, but also they are protected by a certain policy
Yes.
or a contract that is signed, and when they are there, they have a network of other people that they are linking and working with. The embassy should be aware that they
Yes.
have gone.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
It goes
and-
back
and-
to the data thing. Yeah.
So it goes back to the data. So there's supposed to be a system
Yes.
that collects all the data about people who are leaving the country.
Where are they
where they are going,
What are they
going
doing?
to do,
Yeah.
under whose care, how do we, bring them back home
Yes.
safely. So that's another angle
Yes.
that we need to be taking to say this policy is not only addressing domestic work at home,
Yeah. It's even abroad.
outside.
Yeah.
So those relationships are very important. So that's why sustainable development goals are not really up here in the air.
Yes.
They are part and parcel of our daily lives. So for me, when you ask me what are sustainable development goals, they are the daily things that we deal with. Food, all of us have to eat food.
Yes.
But when you talk about zero hunger, if you unpack that goal, you'll understand that there are certain groups within the community, even at the household,
Yeah.
who eats first.
Mm.
Who eats first? Who is served first? And how much
The-
food is
the
that person
father.
served?
Yeah.
Who eats last?
The mother.
How much food will they receive? Aha.
Yeah.
The children.
They are
There's also a
very
community where
interlinked.
the children eat last.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Children are part of the gender grouping. So when you say we are speaking gender, we're looking at those groups that are likely to be marginalized or negatively impacted
Yes.
by some of the things we take for granted. These are things we take for granted, right?
Yes.
That because culturally, it's about respect. So the husband has to be served first. The men in the community have to be. If it's even in a community meeting,
Yes.
you have a gathering like this.
And
men are
someone
supposed
asks
to
you,
be-
a stranger, to go serve another man
Another
who's
man.
a stranger. You've never met this person. It's like, no, ladies, let's go
Let's
serve
go
them.
serve
And
them.
you're like, do they not have legs? Hawajui kupakua chakula
So by the time
wenyewe.
you ladies, after serving all these men, by the time you sit down,
Mabakshishi.
the food is
Eh,
finished.
yeah.
And we are talking about quality food.
Yes.
Nutrition is
Now
about
mnaletewa
the
random.
quality of that food.
Yeah.
All of it is gone.
Yeah.
So when you mentioned earlier the issue of farmers, it's also about how are farmers supported. If we
Yeah.
go to goal number 2, how are farmers supported to produce enough food that
Yes.
can feed, the entire community without them going hungry.
Yes.
And in the event that there is hunger, what is causing hunger? Usually you see climate change.
Yes. Again, we go back to another goal.
Goal
Yes.
number 13.
So as you were saying, they are all very, very interlinked. And as you talk about it, I can see how one goal plays into another, Because even like when we're talking about food and quality of food, even like, for instance, the quality of food found in cities versus in rural areas.
Exactly.
So like I think I understand SDGs a lot better.
Yeah.
It's not just something I'm hearing. I was also once for up in the air, but the way you've explained it, I've really, really understood. We're going to listen to Consistency by Muthoni Drama Queen, and then we'll be right back.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Jealousy, always comparing myself to you. Sometimes I feel like I overdo. Sometimes I feel like I'm over you. Thinking and I feel like I have no clue. Singing and you are the moods. Sometimes I act a fool. Singing and in a choma sana. Sometimes do not sana. Sometimes I act too cool. Singing and you act a fool. Sometimes you drive me crazy. I swear I drive you crazy. Consistent. Consistency, consistent, consistently, consistent, consistency, consistent, consistent, day by day, 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 day by day. Consistent, consistently. Anxiety, naanza tabia za self sabotage, naanza tabia za overjudge. Naanza kujifungia, naanza kujikazia, mwenzio nafunga hisia. Sometimes I feel so blue, sometimes I have no clue. Saa ingine unachoma sana, sometimes tunakosana. Saa ingine ninapotea, sometimes unanikosea. Sometimes you drive me crazy, I swear I drive you crazy. Consistent, consistency, consistent, consistently, consistent, consistency, consistent, consistent, day by day, 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 day by day. Consistent, consistently.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio. Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
This is Power Radio, and you're listening to She Talks. We are currently at the People Dialogue Festival, and we are having a conversation about SDGs, and we are talking to Helen. And now I wanted to ask, what can now me, as a person who's listening, me as a just like a random girl in Nairobi, how can I play a part in making sure that we attain these SDGs, that I plug into, like what role can I play?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very true. SDGs, or the Sustainable Development Goals, recognize that everyone has a role to play. That's why we have the last goal, 17. It's about partnerships, and everybody has a role to play.
Yes.
For you, I'll start with the media. You have a very critical role to, one, raise awareness. Make these goals very simple.
Yes.
Explain them to the people in everyday language, the way we've just done here.
Yes.
We've just unpacked them, pole pole, kidogo kidogo hivyo, and you can understand that they are our everyday life.
Yes.
These goals are talking about our daily life. It's the basic things you need to do. So even as you go about living your life and doing your work as the media,
Yes.
unpack these goals, explain them to the people in very simple language, and use very simple examples. I think for the common person, to the women out there, I would say continue to work hard. One of the things that we are doing today, we are celebrating the women.
Yes.
We're celebrating how wameshikilia the families, wameshikilia the communities,
Yes.
wameshikilia the country. That economy that we talked about, it is actually growing on the shoulders of women. So we celebrate them.
Yes.
Let them continue. Wajikaze, let them continue doing their chamas, let them continue working in their small groups, let them continue working in their circles. The small businesses that they are doing, we acknowledge what they are doing. And we want to say, let them join more collectives. Sustainable development goals work more for people who are in collectives. Educate yourself.
Yes.
Try to understand what is this. Go for those meetings, those community meetings.
Yeah.
The Constitution of Kenya provides for public participation. Public participation is a process where every citizen is able to go and be part of a community meeting.
Yes.
Where development matters are discussed. When your ward leader, the chief or whoever the ward leader is, when he comes to consult, when they call for a community meeting, go for that meeting.
Yes.
Listen.
Yeah.
Ask questions, especially about your daily life, things like water, environment, food, things like health. If there's
Power.
an issue,
Yeah.
electricity, power,
Yeah.
the forest maybe is being cut down. The issue that is disturbing your community, ask your leader
Yes.
about it. Members of parliament are elected leaders.
Yes.
Who can hold them accountable?
It has to
It's
be the people.
us, the
Yeah.
people. We need to ask them what is happening with this.
Yeah.
So that when you tell your member of parliament what's happening in your community, they will come back to parliament and raise that issue. And so you need to be sharing with them information. Tell them this is happening and can you please address it?
Yes.
They'll come back and raise it. So everybody has a role. But I think most importantly, there are goals that still ask us as individuals to be responsible. Who is responsible for ensuring you have food at home?
It's me.
It's you.
Yes.
It starts with me.
Yeah.
So who is responsible for ensuring you have decent housing?
Well,
That's
there's
ish, isn't it?
it moves a bit.
50-50.
because there's
This
a
one,
lot of things to consider.
Decent housing.
But decent housing, I think I would say that should be maybe let's say even county government or local governments, because then they shouldn't allow substandard buildings to be
brought up.
yes.
Exactly. But now if there's a contractor who is actually building a substandard school classroom block or a toilet, who is going to make sure that that building is built properly? So somebody needs to go and monitor.
Yes.
Visit the school when the contractor is building. Go and see how much cement are they using, what kind of bricks are they using, what kind of sand are they using. Because sometimes a contractor is given so much money,
Yes.
billions of money or trillions, and then they will only use half of it.
Yeah. They
So
pay themselves
the
fast.
standard. So the buildings that they are building will
Yeah.
not last.
Yes.
They
they don't last for long. Yeah.
So that means all of us have a duty
responsibility,
to play. So
yes.
let's educate. Let's get to know what our roles are, what our responsibilities. How do I come in? Then you play your role.
Yes.
A lot of people will shy away from going to community meetings. Me, I'm busy, especially Wamama, for us, because we have housework. We'll be saying,
Yeah.
hata I'm still busy, niko na hii kazi
Hata
na hii kazi
sijamaliza,
na
hata nataka
sijamaliza.
kuwekelea maharagwe.
So you are missing information.
Yes.
So because an informed person, somebody who is not aware, will not know what's going on.
Yes, that's
Even
true.
when there is for example, they have brought a program, a new program that is going to benefit you, but because ujaenda huko, you have missed.
Hautajua. Yeah.
So your neighbor atakuja atajaribu kuelezea what happened there,
Yeah.
but will not tell you everything.
Yeah, because information also ikishapita mtu mwingine yeye atakuexplainia venye yeye ameelewa.
So SDGs calls for personal responsibility.
Yes.
Before you point a finger at the other person, hebu jiulize you yourself, what about me?
Yes.
What have I done? What wrong? Because these are everyday. We've said they're about poverty. Who is going to help you remove poverty? You starts with you. Education, food. Who will make sure you have food at the home? Everything, health. When someone is sick, are you waiting for your neighbor to come and take you to the hospital? Just go.
Yeah.
Walk to the hospital. And when you get to the hospital, ask for good services.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes health workers are there. They look at you, they look at you and they are not responding.
Yeah.
They are not treating you well. And then you go back home and you can only tell your neighbor, go and tell the leader. See, the hospitals also have leadership.
Yes.
Exactly. So let's be responsible. Let's be responsible. Responsibility starts with you.
Yeah, that's the truth. Thank you so much for demystifying SDGs for us and also breaking them down so nicely, because now I feel like I've left here with a wealth of information. Nimekuwa tu nikisikia SDGs. Najua, like, you know, when you hear sustainable development goals, you're like, okay, cool, but having, like, what are they? How do they impact my life? And how do I participate? And how can I be involved? You've shared that so well, and I'm really, really grateful that you took the time to come help us out in demystifying what SDGs are and also how they impact us as women. Thank you so much, Helen. At this point, we'll take a little break and we're going to listen to Tufanye by Polaris.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Lakini sielewi, dunia nzima uliona mimi ndio mshenzi, na hii tabia sijaiona na watu wengi, na haya huna ukisema ni mapenzi, na vile umeja msatufanye, na mimi nimeja msatufanye, na vile umeja msatufanye.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up. From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
That is the question we are asking out here. Tufanye. Nataka tufanye. Kanairo Things. Up next, we have Power Cable by Brandy Minor and Okelo Max as we get ready for our next guest.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up. So fresh is on the beat.
Yeah, it's Brandy. Smoke one up, set the operation nice and fitty. Roll one up, yeah, things get tricky. Napenda kumedi na mziki. Kama ni mapenzi then baby, ulinifanyia nini? Cause I really wanna get time, you get know ya, like any time flies. Ntaku treat like I'm supposed to. If you just let me show ya, ntakupa rest on my chest and my shoulders. I must have on my tele. I think him and I fell in love overnight there. Loving him since then. I must have on my tele. I think him and I fell in love overnight there. Loving him since then.
Without you by my side, I swear I'm not able to face this thing called life. I feel I'm not stable. So you are my lifeline, my only power cable. Oh, my amiable. Look at the stars, shining so bright to get your attention. But we're so in love, so magical. I'll never love again. Believe it's planning a future now. And when we make love, you taking all the pain away. Oh, Tina Timranade, universal love me and Chango Atundenate. Pokna yudo machalo kodi ale moni ani bende. Abide Luanda ni Luanda Miguel no. Okana go pain, Okana podi. I must have fun my tele. I think she and I fell in love overnight. Wanted her since then. I must have fun my tele. I think she and I fell in love overnight. Wanted her since then. Without you by my side, I swear I'm not able to face this thing called life. I feel I'm not stable. So you are my lifeline, my only power cable. Oh, my amiable. Without you by my side, I swear I'm not able to face this thing called life. I feel I'm not stable. So you are my lifeline, my only power cable. Oh, my amiable.
Was so scared to fall in love again, but your touch is everything. Niseni, siseme, when you're my everything. Scared to fall in love again, cause your touch is everything. Niseni, siseme, when you're my everything. When you're my everything. When you're my everything. When you're my everything. Oh, was so scared to fall in love again, cause your touch is everything. Niseni, siseme, when you're my everything.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Nadia, from Nicotessa.
leo ni kutesa, tesa, tesa. Yeah, yeah. Form ni kutesa.
Vicky Bandes.
It's a Friday night, itawenza kuwaambie kuna party tonight, no time sasa wakimbie. Chelewa chelewa mwana si wako, na uchunge usije hepa na wako, huo mchele usijetiliwa kwako. Baby, ikibamba sana piga kelele wewe, na kama ni noma sana piga kelele wewe. Boomerang dance on the dance floor, fine girls dance on the dance floor, Hennessy pour on the dance floor. Cause leo ni kutesa, tesa, form ni kutesa. Cause leo ni kutesa, tesa, form ni kutesa.
Baada ya kazi nimeingiza dosi na pressure, kwenye burudani nilipiga show, nilitesa. Big up the fine girl in a pretty little skirt, young man in a African shirt. Wave your hand and do the odi dance and shake your bump like you know what you were. Ooh, all of the drinks on me, mifuko imejaa leo, imejaa pesa. And if you look at me, luku vile natesa. Na ikibamba sana wapi nduru wewe, na kama ni noma sana piga kelele.
Leo ni kutesa,
Leo ni kutesa.
Ninatesa, natesa, 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 cheza. Cause leo ni kutesa, tesa, ni kutesa.
Yeah, niko na form usiku to dawn, mbogi kozon imewasha kingdom, ketimba tukukon tukuteke kwa chom, Fenana Papa Jones, Nadia up and don, those sympathical phone, nasikia ako salon, tulomindo the bomb, club pia imikrom, mbogi mpaka ya ngong, mebambika na song, zile si hu perform, rende pia ni wrong, niko juu ya nyama ya bama na kachumbari, na juu ya diabetes chatu weki sukari, plan size imetufikisha huko kari yako, walevi washanza kulewa wamekali ya flow, anasikia form ni kutesa, tusimalize kanji dumtatu rudi kalesa, wakanesa mavodo bila chesa, hakuna kulala tunakesha tukitesa.
Tesa, form ni kutesa, natesa, 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 cheza. Cause leo ni kutesa, tesa, form ni kutesa. Cause leo ni kutesa, tesa, form ni kutesa. Cause leo ni kutesa, tesa, form ni kutesa.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
You are listening to Power Radio, and this is She Talks. My name is Muthoni Gitao. We are at the People Dialogue Festival. We are coming to you live on ground, and we are about to get into a conversation with a lovely lady. Her name is Esther, and she works with a program that helps the youth of Mathare called Wezesha Kike, and she's here to talk to us all about it. Remember, today is International Women's Day, so we are here to celebrate women doing great things, and Esther is one of those women, and that's why she is here with us today. Hi, Esther.
Hi.
How are you feeling?
I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm okay.
Don't be nervous. You're good, girl.
Obviously, anytime you are in a new place, you have to feel.
Yeah, a bit
Yeah.
like the jitters,
Yeah.
kidogo.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I got you. Also, she works on radio. I don't know why you nervous.
Actually, I know. But anytime, I think I'm working on my imposter syndrome. But yeah, so anytime I feel like I'm nervous, I'm like, oh my God, I need to tell myself.
Do you have
something.
do you have a thing you say to yourself
Yeah.
whenever you feel? What do you say to
I always
yourself?
tell myself, you are enough. You are smart. You got this.
And you
are
deserve to
human.
be here.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
deserve
That is
to
how
be
I-
here. Yes. I'm glad that you have something that you say to yourself because, hey, those moments, we all struggle with those moments where you walk into a place and you start questioning yourself, kidogo. But you have to go back and remind yourself who you are because sometimes the world, it takes a lot of energy to tell us that we are not who we think we are. But we know we are. We are exactly who we think we are.
But sometimes we forget who we are for a minute, then
you have to remind yourself. Yes. So Esther, tell us about Wezesha Kike.
So first and foremost, I come from Mathare.
Yes.
And I work with Canada Mathare Education Trust. Actually, I am a PSS scholar.
What does that mean?
PSS scholar is okay, let me just break down so that you can understand. So when you are sponsored at our organization, you are now called the SS scholar. So that is the secondary scholar. Then they sponsor you for the next 4 years. Then after 4 years, you transition out to either college, university. Now you get the name, the PSS scholar. So PSS scholar is definitely those who are in universities and college. So that is briefly about Canada Mathare Education Trust. And we have a lot of programs that is going on. But today I was speaking about Wezesha Kike, and Wezesha Kike came in when we noticed that after some time, our high school scholars, after finishing now the 4 years, you find that when transitioning to the PSS scholar, most ladies become dormant. So this is a survey that was noticed for some time, because I don't know, after KCSE, if unajua ujapita vizuri, obvious
unaanza kujishuku.
Alafu kuna venye unawacha dunia yani una shadow ndani. So most of the ladies tulikuwa in such situation. So that's why they came up with Wezesha Kike program to empower ladies, to empower that you can, it doesn't not only education that defines you, you are capable of doing also amazing things. Apart from just that, even our high school scholars, we will normally have this for holiday programs. So during holiday programs, you find that most men are active. And when it comes now to the ladies' part, we are a little bit dormant. Now, Wezesha Kike came in to empower both high school and PSS scholar. Now, Wezesha Kike definitely is a gender mainstreaming program. And Wezesha Kike, its aim is to ensure there is equal distribution of resources, opportunity, project to both ladies and gents. So that's why we came up with the name Wezesha Kike. But most people misinterpret the word Kike because they normally feel it's only a girl. So the Canada Mathare Education Trust actually right now favors the girl child. But to their understanding, Kike means either a girl or a boy. Because we have to educate, if we want to implement something, we have to educate both genders so that we reach to our designated goals. So Wezesha Kike came in, and Wezesha Kike, its major aim is to ensure it provides how can I phrase it? Okay, Wezesha Kike came in to ensure that we bring the confidence in women. We ensure we tackle the barriers that are facing women, not to go out there and do something on their own, not to go out there and take those spaces, not to go out there, not to be confident. There is a lot when we talk about Wezesha Kike. So one, we noticed that apart from just our organization, we noticed also the society or the community within Mathare. We are having the same problems that we are having in our organization. So Wezesha Kike now came in. First, its major aim was to change the routine that has been happening in Canada Mathare Education Trust. Then later on,
what do you mean by when you say the routine that's been happening in the organization?
The routine of, you find that men are active than ladies.
So that routine of where like the guys are taking up spaces, but the women are actually not.
So after we came up with Canada Mathare Education Trust, we noticed that it is not only supposed now to be in the organization, but also to the community, where we aim to empower almost 1,000+ women in Mathare. So Canada Mathare Education Trust, now if I break down, it has a lot of terminology. First, before we get into now the Wezesha Kike, there is something called gender, there is sex, there are now the gender terminologies in short. We also understood that most people cannot distinguish between gender and sex.
And sex.
Yes.
Yeah, I
So,
get that.
The Wezesha Kiki now comes in and educates you. Do you really understand the word gender? Do you really understand the term sex? Now, gender is just the, for example, these are just the roles or responsibility that the society have given us. For example, in terms of work, or the responsibility that men and women wamepewa ndo wafanye, like, so you understand hizo gender roles in short. Alafu sex now, it's the biological
it's basically, it touches on the organs you were born with, basically.
Biologically, yes. Yes.
Okay.
Now, on the gender mainstreaming also, we also notice that we also notice that our society is the key role to these barriers that right now we are trying to fight, or we are trying to remove in our ladies. So if we find that even at birth there are some roles or zile vitu tu ziliekwa, like mtoto akizaliwa kama ni dem soli yake lazima ikuwe pink, besheni pink, nini pink, unaelewa. Alafu ikikuja kwa boy lazima blue. Alafu you find that hizo ni vitu tumegrow tukijua. Now ikakuja kwa incident ya what if we have people who are intersect, how do we tackle situations kama hiyo? So if we come, for example, like now the Wezesha Kiki came through, at least jaribu demolish the
to
pink,
demystify those
to demystify
things.
the pink, the blue, and just to any
Color ni color.
Hadi mtoto akizaliwa unaweza mweka white. Actually, I remember there is a day my mom alikuwa ananiambia, wewe ukichukua mwanaume mwenye ni mweusi alafu unizalie mtoto mweusi mwenye hata ukifunika na soul anakaa giza, utaenda na yeye. So I was like, okay.
So pia there's aspects of colorism pia.
There is aspect of colorism. Now nilikuja but I didn't argue because I knew that is what they believed in. In as much as you know what someone believes in, you don't have to fight them or else educate them or tell them inafaa kuwa hivi but haifai kuwa hivi. Juu unapata pia colorism pia inatu affect mostly. So unapata now mtoto akizaliwa hata wewe unajua hivyo. Mtoto kama ni dem, keki ni pink, kama unafanya gender reveal nini, kila kitu ni pink, kama ni boy this and that. Now we came up with Wezesha Kiki to try and do away with that. When a child is born, either a girl or a boy, unaweza mpatia any color. Unaona? So hiyo ilikuwa ikikam kwa culture. Then unapata the society ilitupea certain roles that wewe kama msichana, we are known that ladies are good housekeepers. Ladies are good in let's say just domestic work, and men are good in maybe hunting nini. When we take it back vitu za kitambo, like get. So Wezesha Kiki is trying to now do away with that.
Okay.
Now
how do you go about this? Like, do you mnafanyanga classes? Because umesema there's guys who are ndo wametoka Form 4, right?
Yeah.
And they're waiting either to go to uni ama they're not certain kama wanaenda nje ya uni. So in that decision making moments, ndio mna decide, okay, they're not doing anything, let's bring in these conversations, let's educate people. How do you go about that?
So that's a good question. So how we do in between is after mtoto amemaliza Form 4, we normally take them to a local ICT organizations.
Okay.
So where they learn ICT for the next 4 months. Then after Apple, I've also talked about holiday programs. So during this holiday program, inakonga a whole week of coming into the center, mnafundishwa, mnaletewa different people who have maneuvered in different careers and they are doing great out there. So au ndo watu wanaletwa in between. Then sisi kama Wezesha Kiki champion now tunaletwa either one of the fine days. So by the minute now you are finishing with your Form 4, unapata keep on track. It's not a must sisi tukuje tukufundishe. You have to go and spread the gospel outside. Now that is how we do it.
Okay. We will be right back. Right about now, we are about to listen to Take It Back. I'm here. Okay, we're listening to... Sorry, Bernard. We're about to listen to I'm Here Bye, Brandy.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Right from here. Seems like whatever shade is now lifted from my name, and I'm seeming to catch the light that I've been missing. From wherever they've been hiding, oh, I'm here now. Take out your phones and clear the bad time here. I know it's been too long, but I'm here now. Open your eyes and learn what you need to remember. Even with all this time, I knew I needed to carry on, find a way to stay strong. There's no other way to get to the cause. I don't know. I do not remember the pain that I felt. Something I knew I will never regret. Oh, I'm here now. I'm here now. I'm here now. Yeah, yeah, I'm here now. I'm here now. I'm here now. The hundreds of times I felt like I was near, and it felt like every day is now a mission to pretend I got it going on. Had things happen I thought I was safe from. So now when it is happening, I'll be holding on. Will I always be aware of what is going on? Am I and everybody gonna get along for whatever's going on? Even with all this time, I knew I needed to carry on, find a way to stay strong. There's no other way to get to the cause. I don't know. I do not remember the pain that I felt. Something I knew I will never regret. Oh, I'm here now. I'm here now. I'm here now. Yeah, yeah, I'm here now. I'm here now. I'm here now. Meniweka hapa, meniweka hapa, meniweka hapa. Meniweka hapa, meniweka hapa, meniweka hapa. Even with all this time, I knew I needed to carry on, find a way to stay strong. There's no other way to get to the cause, and I know.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
We are talking to Esther from Wezesha Kike, which is Wezesha Kike, which is a program under the Canada Mathare Education Trust. Yes, and they operate from Mathare. It's a program for the youth. No, it's not just with young women.
Yeah. Actually, it's a program for let's say both the gender. Immediately you finish your primary school and you've scored 340 marks, because every institution have their own protocols to follow.
Okay.
So for you to be part of Canada Mathare Education Trust, you have to come from Mathare. You have to score 340 marks, and the
Or
last
above.
thing, you have to come from a family that hawajiwezi saidia kila mtu.
Yeah.
So hivyo, alafu you have to study away from Mathare. So ukiingia Canada Mathare Education Trust, now unaingia the SS, now the secondary scholars, then the PSS, post-secondary scholars, and we also have the alumni. Yes.
Okay. So what happens if mtu amefanya amekuwa the secondary scholar and then amemaliza and then maybe for some random reason they don't join the PSS? What happens in between hapo?
Actually, our rule is after you finish Form 4, whether you've passed or you've not passed, you have to apply to any school, either university or a college. Because one advantage that Canada Mathare Education Trust do is after you finish your Form 4 and now you are transitioning to either college or university, they are paying the first tuition fee. And now they'll be providing you with the 20,000 upkeep. Now you see, that will not give you a reason to just stay at home. But in between, they always engage us with activity. For example, like hii hapa unapata they needed like 40 scholars. Kama ulikuwa umemaliza shule na ufanye kitu, si umeshapata mradi. Alafu pia unapata during, I've talked about the holiday programs. Now the holiday programs, we always go for a week. So unapata they always choose 2 or 3 people wenye wamemaliza either high school. They help out because pale unajua watoto wanafunzwa, then kuna lunch na kuna breakfast. Now so unajua vitu ni hectic because they have to go back to every session. Now kuwa keep on track. That is where now they come in and help out. Yes.
So umesema they pay your first tuition. So what happens after? Like, are you expected to get a job when you're in school? Ama do they pay your tuition through until umalize? Like when you the PSS,
yes. I've talked about they first pay the first tuition fee, na 20,000 upkeep. Now they'll be giving you this 20,000 upkeep every semester. Now it's up to you to either put it in your tuition fee or either spend it. Now it's up to you.
And so what happens if sasa nimelipiwa tuition ya kwanza, nimepewa 20k upkeep, nimeenda the first semester, the next semester niko like nimetumia 20k niseme nitakula. So is there something that is done? Ama you've not had such instances because kuna kwanga sometimes there's someone who goes like hiyo shule ni ngumu, mi sidhani nitaendelea or anything of the sorts.
I think with all the leadership zenye tunafundishwa during the holiday programs ina morph out different people, different kind of people. So when you look at the situation that is in Mathare, no part opportunity for you to be in school, you'll not joke with it. There is no one who will just come here and give you 20,000. Go and use this. So you have to calculate whether you like it or not. You have to push yourself. Sometimes una feel zingine ni ngumu. Ukiona inaleta ngumu, ongeza na kazi. Tafuta easy part.
At least there's something small you're getting.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I get that. So leo ni International Women's Day.
Yes.
I wanted to ask, like, so as an organization, do you guys do anything special on International Women's Day? Do you call the ladies mnaambia?
Actually, right now we are trending on Twitter because we are doing a lot of things. We are doing a lot of things. Today, tuna celebrate some of our scholars who undergone the defense. Kuna hii class inaitwa defense because under Wezesha Kike, there is also some variety of activities. Kuna hizi defense classes where you find that we live in Mathare, but sometimes you can be attacked. How can you defend yourself? So those ladies who undergone the training, leo tunawa celebrate because wewe kujua hizo tactics si mchezo. Wanaume kaeni rada huko nje because ni kubaya.
Utakuja kuiba kibeti ujipate you're no more.
So hiyo ndio ya kwanza. Then the next thing, we normally give sanitary towels to our ladies. So we normally have like different forum for the ladies where we teach them on reproductive health. We teach them on cleanliness. You know, these things that revolve around our body, especially as ladies. Especially pia unapata mtu anaanza kubalehe after akiwa high school. So most of the thing are you exposed to. Now during this program, the sanitary towels, we have this interaction of ladies to ladies with our with some of with our ladies. Yeah, definitely, yes.
Okay, so this year's theme of International Women's Day is Inspire Inclusion. What do you think generally in terms of inclusion una feel tuna lack wapi?
So as us ladies tuna lack behind, according to my observations, first una find there are ladies in Mathare. Mimi na picture sana Mathare because I'm well conversant with it. So napata there are some organizations when they opt to say that we are helping maybe ladies, we are helping people, but in real sense they are not doing that. Alafu there is this ladies pia sisi tuna lag behind because you find as we are always being taught about these early pregnancies. We go to forums, we do this and this and that, but by the end of the day we end up getting pregnant. Tunaongeza gharama juu ya gharama. So what I feel like as ladies we should do, we should ensure anything you're being taught, anything you encounter that is something that is going to change your life, you have to adhere to it. Like, be different.
Yeah.
See, okay, wanasema listen, learn, and act. That is always how we say it at Canada Mother Education Trust. We can teach you, but it is up to you.
Listen, learn, and act. That's a very good statement. I like that. And it brings me to my next question.
Yeah.
Around Women's Day and Women's Month.
Yes.
And it's about the fact that kuna kwangana so many forums where everyone wants to come and inspire you and give you a speech and tell you, let's do a conference and discuss women's issues. Let's do this, let's do that. But when it comes to providing resources, haziko. So it's like you can only inspire me so much if you're not going to help me. So Kanye mesema you listen, you learn, then you act. So kuna penye nafika ikifikapo kwa learn, it's like, yeah, I've learned, but I don't have the means to act. I am willing to act. I am willing to say start a business. I am willing to, but I don't have the resources.
Now you know the good thing about Canada Mother Education Trust. The minute you are active there, the minute you show you want to do something different, now you speak out to the ED. Actually, utasaidiwa. Unajua atakupatia hata 5% of part of your kazi unafanya. Juu wanasema nikikupatia kila kitu, it doesn't mean that you are going to do what you intended to do. Unaweza pata last can come in between na you spend it, unaona. But if akikupatia like 5%, si unaweza jituma upate wengine. Alafu right now there are also in Mathare actually in Mathare kuna hizi funding projects. So if you have a certain project, you can apply. Ukisha apply, now you get the funds and start your own business actually.
Oh, that's good.
But definitely, and I forgot, there is also alumni in Canada Mother Education Trust. So you find that sasa umejua umetoka kwa program. Now there is no that 20,000 that they used to get. Now what they do, if you are good in designing, wanakupatia contract, design for us a logo that we are going to use for the this year walkathon. Actually, we also have walkathons, which normally happens every December. So during December,
what do you do during the walkathon?
So during the walkathon, we work for education, we work for Mathare, we advocate the importance of education. Now within Mathare, we create awareness about Canada Mother Education Trust and what they are doing to people. So actually this year, we did last year we had our walkathon, and this year the number of students or pupils who came for application was exuberant because people listened, because unajua even lazima uone kama the walkathon made sense ama iko make sense. So this year ulikuwa unapata watoto wengi walikuja kuapply na wenye walifaulu walienda different high schools. Alafu speaking of hizo fundings, nilisha kwambia hapo nyuma, if you have a certain project na the ED anaona this is a little bit reasonable, anakusaidia. That's why
what's an ED?
Anitwa, let me tell you after
okay, so no problem.
Okay, so
basically what you're saying is that hamwachili tu watu, you offer resources where you can,
where they can.
Okay, that's good to know, because I think in most cases kuna kwangana hizo situations where everyone is like, we want to talk, we want to inspire, but no one is offering help and support beyond telling you things. So I appreciate that is there. We are going to listen to Power by Fena and Valerie Muthoni. This is She Talks on Power Radio.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Bitch, who the now? They look at us like we're cool now. Now they wanna be friends. You didn't accept me then, you can't access me now. Could never handle all this pussy power now. Nizangu na napenda kuzigawa, and they're charged by the hour, but they can't keep up. No matter how hard they try to keep up. We take them round in a circle, they can catch up with me. All around the world they know they can mess with the Kenyan girl. They can never mess with the Kenyan girl. Mess with the Kenyan, no. Nairobi girls got that pussy power. East African girls got that pussy power. African girls, pussy power. And all around the world, go ahead, just do it, 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 just do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it.
A baby girl who can do it like you do. Ebu check you kitesa na yo luku. No stress, nice dress and some new shoes. Hizi ends ni day ones, hakuna new crew. Ahuda, tana try kubonga mbaya. Game ninaekwa wezi cheza wedi tie. Biashara riski ninafanya bila haya. Lap moja kajua mbona mimi nikabaya. Atuko na mboge have a better one. Feel good vibes, utafly kama Peter Pan. Better come, better run bila chesa mini veteran. Ganji neza pata but I get it from a richer man.
Kitty come with that pussy power. Got 9 lives and I'm fly like a goma bower. In hindsight, I'm the cure, baby, I'm the dower. Some sweet like a bee sipping for a flower. Murder she wrote. Big rack, big stacks, foot on your throat. Y'all big mad, I laugh, comedy pro. So I sit back, count cash, then I get more, yeah. Say what you want about me. That pussy talk and you know she never say please. A boss in the streets and a freak in the sheets. Ooh wee. Say what you want about me. That pussy talk and you know she never say please. A boss in the streets and a freak in the sheets. Ooh wee. Hey, Nairobi girls, pussy power. East African girls, pussy power. African girls, pussy power. And all around the world, just do it. Go ahead, girl, do it. You better do it. Hey, just do it, do it, do it, do it.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
That was Power by Fena and Valerie Muthoni. Here is Bless My Room by Necessary Noise.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio. Power.
Blessed be to the Most High. Jah Rastafari. Walk fire. Blaze it, sir. Buckle up. Necessary noise. Walk fire. Necessary noise with the youth. This unnecessary noise with the youth. This unnecessary noise with the youth. This unnecessary noise with the youth. Bless my room when I wake up early in the morning. Say a prayer and I'll be okay. No, if you always get lazy, you better stop yawning. As for guidance, never go astray. Now that you got your Jaja protection, release all your tension. He's watching over you all day. Get to you to better pray, oh, you better pray. And watch all your problems just fly away. Usiku wote umelala, mashida ukiwaza, chuki umekutaza, matendo ya wengine kwako nayo ya kukataza, kuishi vyema kwa raha. Funga macho we ongea na Mola, umweleze nini kitakutoa kwenye mtego uliokushika. Ni baba yako pia rafiki yako. Bless my room when I wake up early in the morning. Say a prayer and I'll be okay. No, if you always get lazy, you better stop yawning. As for guidance, never go astray. Now that you got your Jaja protection, release all your tension. He's watching over you all day. Get to you to better pray, oh, you better pray. And watch all your problems just fly away. A long time now, get a youth you a suffer, just to get you some lunch and some supper. Things them go bad, always wrong, never proper. Check it mtaani mpaka leo tuna suffer. In me ghetto there is no holiday. Man I lose direction and now them turn gay. Children have no toys and yes we want to play. Don't you worry, just kneel down and pray. Say come not to use, come not to use, come praying with me. Bless my room when I wake up early in the morning. Say a prayer and I'll be okay. No, if you always get lazy, you better stop yawning. As for guidance, never go astray. Now that you got your Jaja protection, release all your tension. He's watching over you all day. Get to you, you better pray. Oh, you better pray. And watch all your problems just fly away. Never put a scissor upon your naughty dreadlocks. Babylon, these are creating so much tension. Oh, get us through all this separation. So much tension, oppression in the nation. Still we go strong with the Jaja dedication. Get all you confused. Oh, this drug abusing. Please, Jaja, help them. Their mind, them are losing. Now we are kneel together. We are praying. Get your use. Una like a chameleon digging for your deeper roots. On a complication, find the road which you are suit. With an intervention from the one who give the youth. That's a dedication. No more suffering, no more struggling. I get your youth. No more suffering, no more struggling. I get your youth, no suffering. My room when I wake up early in the morning. Say a prayer and I'll be okay. No, if you always get lazy, you better stop yawning. Ask for guidance, never go astray. Now that you got your Jaja protection, release all your tension. He's watching over you all day. Get to you better pray. Oh, you better pray. And watch all your problems just fly away. My room when I wake up early in the morning. Say a prayer and I'll be okay. No, if you always get lazy, you better stop yawning. Ask for guidance, never go astray. Now that you got your Jaja protection, release all your tension. He's watching over you all day. Get to you better pray. Oh, you better pray. Watch all your problems just fly away. Bless my room when I wake up early in the morning. Yeah, I bless my room when I wake up early in the morning. Yeah,
Power Radio. Tune in and power up. From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
You know how we do. We make it sticky like glue. Michelle singing. Oh,
Yes, she might call you Dada. Germany, I'm a photographer.
you do know what delicious.
Yeah, we're taking it back, just taking it back. From this beat, we on fire. STM, Michelle,
Do know what delicious.
Yeah, we're taking it back, just taking it back.
Yo, I'm on my way back home. Already packed my bags, get what you
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
That was Stella Mwangi with Taking It Back, featuring Michelle. And I was just wondering, hey, it's been a while. Where's Michelle? I've not had anything new from her in a while. And before that, we were listening to Bless My Room by Necessary Noise. We are talking to Esther. Esther is from Canada Mathare Education Trust.
Yeah.
And she is the... Are you like the programs manager for...
Actually, no. I'm a PSS scholar. I'm still in school.
So you just work with Nini?
Actually, I started with them after I joined high school.
So you joined, you didn't go through the secondary scholar?
I went.
Oh,
okay,
so you went through secondary scholar, then became PSS.
Okay, I went through the secondary scholarship. Then now I'm in the post-secondary scholarship.
But then now you're also working with the foundation.
Actually, not really working because I'm still.
You're still part of
the.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you spend your time, because now when you finish, you'll become part of the alumni, right?
Yeah,
when you finish the PSS. So right now, with you guys at PDF, what exactly are you hoping to achieve? Like, are you talking to people to sign up? Are you talking to people for awareness? People know what you guys do? Or, I don't know, looking for collaborations, partnerships?
Now, actually, if you're a PSS, you are supposed to give back to the community because that is what we normally say. Yes, we came from the community to the organization. Now, after now the scholarship, you are still studying. You have to give back to the community and also to the organization. So, what basically we came here to do? We do a little bit of sales and marketing for our organization, and also we help in decoration and stuff. So apart from just being a PSS scholar, you also help in one.
You become a volunteer in the organization as well.
Yes.
I get that.
Yeah.
So what are you hoping for now this year? Because the year is still very young. What are you hoping for maybe with the organization and even you as a person?
So first and foremost with the organization, as I stated earlier, I'm not embarrassed to say this. I was not as courageous as you can see me right now as I'm here. So personally, I want to be more active in the organization. And now personally, I'm volunteering. As I stated earlier, I'm also volunteering at Kenyatta University. So I'm also working on my confidence. I have to work on it, whether I like it or not. So after now this year, now when I look back from January to December, I just want to see if I've maneuvered another step, either in my radio presenting or news anchoring or broadly. Let's just say broadly.
I like that. You've got this. You're already on your way. You are doing very, very well so far.
Yeah, thank you.
What is your hope when we're talking about like with International Women's Day? What's the one thing you would want to see change, like with the way women are treated generally, especially in this country? What is your hope? Because I know they're saying the theme for this year is inspire inclusion, but the way I look at that, actually, for me, I'm a bit skeptical about. I pay attention to language very much, and when you say inspire inclusion, it's like, so does that mean we just need to inspire it? We don't need to actually do it? Yeah, maybe it could be inclusion, or maybe just inclusion. But when we say inspire inclusion, for me, I'm trying to. I don't know why we're using the word inspire.
Okay.
We didn't choose it. But for you, what do you think this translates into?
Okay. Actually, the first question was about the women in. Okay.
Yes.
So first, I would say personally, I want more opportunities for women. I want more opportunities for. Actually, since I'm volunteering, I believe there are people in campus. They have their 4 years degrees and stuff, but they're now staying at home. If you go and volunteer somewhere, I'm just pleading with those organizations to allow us have that opportunity, because once we get that opportunity, we don't want to be paid, because skills are even more important than money. But in the near future now, actually, I know I like relating things to the Bible. They always say that if you give your best in something, it doesn't have to be monetary. It will give back, because that is your time you used, that's your energy you used. So in as much as you set your mind and your goals straight, you'll achieve it. So you don't have to focus just on money each and every moment, because money is the root to all evil. You can do anything.
No, money is
It's
good,
but
yes.
it's the root.
I think
It's good,
I
yeah.
personally don't believe that money is the root of all evil. I think evil is the root of evil.
Okay, evil is the-
and because
okay.
I think there's certain things where it doesn't matter. It's like if your character is not corruptible, it doesn't matter what I give you.
Definitely,
If your values are important to you, it doesn't matter. But now, so it goes back to the individual. So it's easier to blame it on money. But we've also seen a lot of people who have money who are not terrible people, who are good people. So sometimes there's, again, I said language.
Yeah.
I pay attention to language a lot. Thank you so much for coming to talk to us. And I hope one day we'll come visit.
Actually, do.
Yeah, I would love to come
During
see what
the
the work
Canada-
you guys are doing.
During
The
walk.
walkathon.
Yeah, we also
Yes,
have
invite me.
entertainment.
I
We also
will
have
come.
entertainment. And I also promised to say about the ED. ED
Oh,
is
yes.
executive director. Actually, in
Oh.
Canada Madare Education Trust, it's Canada Madare
Yes.
Education Trust. So we have one partner who is called Victoria. She's from Canada.
Okay.
And she is partnering now with the co-founders in
Madare.
Madare. That's why
Ah.
the name Canada Madare Education Trust came in.
I
Yes.
get that. Oh, okay. That's good. I'm glad that you guys even have access to your executive director. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for coming through and having this conversation with us. Happy International Women's Day to all the birdies out there. The show shows the nyanyas. It doesn't matter how old you are a baddie till death, my darlings. Have yourself an amazing, amazing day. Remember to follow us on social media at Power Radio. That is PAWA Radio. This is She Talks. My name is Muthoni Gitao. Until I see you again on Monday. But be sure to stick around because Gift of Gab is coming through in the afternoon. Here is Kamakawa Ida because it's a party anthem.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Wagwan Nairobi, hey, it's your boy Kago Mungai. We got 3 queens on the track, Mayonde, Fena, Gitu, and Mobani, the drummer queen, and they're about to kill it. You ain't ready for this, Nairobi. If you killing it, put your hands up in the air for this one time.
Feeling so fresh, so juicy. Only rock with the best, I'm choosy. I got the sauce, I'm choosy. In the ghetto at the same time, bougie. Ooh, wanna take a photo, cause my style loco. Caught a good vibe, I can feel it in my soul. Driving around Nairobi like a boss. I don't mean to brag, no, I don't mean to floss. Of course, on the highway, listening to Kagwe. Junior Westy, thank God that it's Friday. Man, we so fly, it's our time. On the dance floor, do my dirty wine. I'm a kawaida. I kill it, I kill it, I'm a kawaida. I kill it, I kill it, I'm a kawaida. I kill it, I kill it, I'm a kawaida. I kill it,
kama kawaida, niko na mistari na niko na mawaidha. If she asks for money, never leave with the broad. And if he say he'll pay you next week, he's a fraud. East African girl, hella mean with the quad. One time, then I leave with the squad. She say she got the sauce, I got the mayo. The way I rock the city, Nairobi be like, ayo. Hey, we can chill in my car. You can listen to my new sheet. Now, do you like it or not? Yeah. Can you with my bullshit? Hey, wanna babaika? I feel it, I feel it, I do. Oh, oh, the way I kill it, I do. And anything you want, yeah, I feel it, I do.
I'm a kawaida. I kill it, I do.
Oh.
drama queen start. Favorite part. Ride around Nairobi sitting pretty on the tracks. I'm thinking my new flat is greater than you can. Imagine venue to me walking the shop with my clan. Let's talk about it. I've been about it, dream about it. Work so hard I became about it. Work so hard that became about it. Ask about me, ask about me. What's surrounding? All the squad is who's around me. All the sauces who's around me. Real, trill, live for the thrill. Lucky Luciano, baby, live for the kill. Deal. In something important, for something important. Kuha so Nick constant like I kill it, I do. I kill it, I do. Kamakawa ida. I kill it, I do. I kill it, I do. Kamakawa ida. I kill it, I do. I kill it, I do. Kamakawa ida. I kill it, I do. I kill it, I kill it, I do.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.